We're just going to go through a brief tutorial of how to print out service orders from Planning Center. So it's fairly simple. We're going to print out service orders that have all of these items in there. But the important thing is that we're also going to print out the notes that go with each item. So if we look in just one of these items, we will see that there are notes specific for different positions. We have ATEM, camera, visual, audio. We have things for band, vocals, keys, click track, drums. So the important part is that we want to add these notes in there when we print it out. And so we're not going to print all the notes out together. So we're going to print out specific notes for specific people. So if we're printing something for ATEM, we're going to print out the notes that go with ATEM. If we're printing out something for drums, we'll include the drum notes or the click track notes. That way it's just very specific. So each person, when they're looking at their service order, they can see what pertains to them and not getting confused by what might pertain to somebody else. So that's kind of what we're going to look at here. So it's pretty simple. A thing to note would be, as you kind of just look here, there are multiple notes for some of them, like visual, for example, has 2 slots for notes. House audio has 3 slots. Live streams audio has 3 slots also. So that's just important when we print out the service orders. We want to make sure to check all the different boxes that apply to each specific thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to navigate up here to the top, kind of right of the page, press on the printer icon there. And what comes up here is this box right here. And it looks like some of the correct boxes are pressed, and then some of them are not. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the times in this time slot here, that the 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and the length buttons are pushed. So if I get out of here for just a second, you'll see, so we have length of things and then we have times for each service. So this just kind of shows us, because everything is timed, this shows us like where we're going to do specific things. So it looks like Behold the Lamb. So in the 9 o'clock service, that should be approximately 9:22. And at the 11 o'clock service, 11:22. So we want to make sure that when we print it out, that we have that included. So again, so in the time slot, we have the 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and then just the length. So if you are printing out something for band, you want to make sure that the key is selected. If you're not, if you're just printing out for tech reasons, then don't worry about the key. That doesn't need to be selected. And then over here is where we'll print out the notes for each specific person. So like I said before, so you want to make sure, so if we are printing out for visual, we want to make sure to select all the visual things in here. So kind of a weird thing on the layout, this particular layout, like it was in order, kind of in the other one that I was looking at, where I had all the visual ones together, all the audio together. But this, for whatever reason, doesn't. It has vocals here, or excuse me, visual here, and then visual is like way down here, and then there's like 2 house audio and a house audio. So you kind of just have to scan the list and make sure that you select all the right ones. I don't know why it's not in order. You want to make sure to select them all for whatever you're doing. So if we did visual, we do that. If we were going to do worship leader, we just select that. House audio, we'd select those, and then this other one. So just make sure they're all selected. And then you want to make sure that the notes is in list view and not in columns, because it'll be a lot more confusing if it's in columns. And that's it. So once those are selected, so your times, length, key if you're in the band, and then all of these that pertain to specific note, then you just want to hit submit. And then after you hit submit, it'll generate a PDF. And then we'll go to our download, and it should be sitting right in our downloads there. There we go. And then voila, we have a service order. So it has all the notes specific to a person's specific role. So that's important, so they're not confused by everything else. And then in this case, it has 2 pages. So if it has 2 pages, usually I like to print it double-sided so that one, we're saving paper, but then also, more importantly, it's just easier to navigate one piece of paper as opposed to 2. So if it's 2 pages, do double-sided. If not, obviously just 1 page. So that is it. That's how easy it is to print out service orders.